Hey now, ladies and gentlemen. Hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, and a hey now, and a hey now, and hey now. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to hour number two as I go through and look for I'm still looking for the story where I had originally remember Judge Janine early in the show had come out with the press conference about the Chinese ringleaders who operated a scam compound in Burma where thousands of people were trafficked and enslaved and forced to steal from Americans. I was trying to find that original story that I reported on, but it was wild, man. As I said, it was a situation where they were posing as employers for people in that region, and once these young people would show up trying to get a job, they would essentially kidnap them and traffic them and take them to these scam centers and force them to scam people online, scam people over the phone, scam their own family members. Whether it's like, pay this ransom or whatever. Like it was a whole thing. There's a lot of scams out there and a lot of very convincing scams out there that I've seen. There's some in particular, and in the world of cryptocurrency, it makes it so much easier for these people to pull it off and to not be tracked. Because once they get money from you via cryptocurrency, then that's it. You ain't getting them back, Coles. It's kind of like, accidentally sending somebody the wrong amount of or sending the wrong person money on Cash App. Have you ever done that? Where you send the wrong person some money, and then once you send it, you're like, "Oh crap, I put in the wrong name," and unless that person's just a saint and sends the money back because they know it wasn't meant for them, then you just ain't getting it back. You ain't getting it back, cause it's one of those things. There was one in particular that I saw that a lot of people were involved with, and it was kind of and I've told this story before. It was kind of a pyramid type scheme, if you will. One of these things where you sign up for it and you start selling stuff or you do whatever. And then if you can get other people on board to sign up under you, you get paid some of their commission and it turns into a whole thing. There's a lot of those out there that are legitimate that some people, most can't do it, but some people end up doing very well for themselves and making a lot of money. But then there's other ones that are just kind of online things. This one in particular was a deal where they allegedly pay you to go and like Facebook, YouTube Shorts, whether it's YouTube Shorts or Facebook Reels or TikToks. And they would say, and I remember this specifically, they would say, "All right, we will pay you." Um, it was like we will pay you uh what was it? I don't even remember. It was like $1 per like. This is just an example, right? So $1 per like. All right. And when you start, you can do it you pay like $50 or something or whatever it is to get in initially, and then you get paid $1 per like, but you can only like, 10 videos per day. And you go through and they put that money in your account on their little website. And you build up your money and you build up your money or whatever, but you can't cash it out, which you have to cash out via cryptocurrency. You can't cash it out until you move up to level 1, which costs you like $400. You got to pay $400. And if you pay $400 and you move up to level 1, you go from getting paid for doing 10 per day to being allowed to do like 20 per day. All right. So you pay the $400. Well, then you get to like 20 videos per day at $1 per video. And so you're making $20 per day. And then you can start cashing out. And then there's a level 2 that may be like $750. And you get to like, 30 videos a day. And there's a level 3 that's, $1,200. And you get to like 50 videos a day. Anyway, it moves up. And what they'll do is they'll get people in and they'll actually pay out. They'll pay people as people buy their levels and they spend thousands of dollars to level up so they can like more videos and make more money. They will pay out. They will pay these people for a while, and they'll do it for months, and encourage those people to tell their friends and their family to sign up as well, and because they're getting paid, they're making money, so they're like telling their friends and family, "Hey, do this." And when they do that, they end up making a little bit of commission off those people. So it turns into this big thing. And once they get so many people signed up, and again, they're legitimately paying out, people are making money, putting it in their bank account, spending it. Once they get so many people signed up that have not just signed up, but also bought levels so they can make money, and they're pulling in a large profit, they then just pull the rug out and just disappear, delete the website and everything else. So all those people that paid money that never recouped the money, they just get left high and dry. That's happening. That scam's still floating out there. I don't know if that even makes sense. I'm trying to explain it as much as I can remember it, but there's all kinds of scams out there, and the one common denominator they have in all of them is it's got to do with cryptocurrency. So if you're offered some sort of gig or some sort of payment, or you're being told you're going to be arrested if you don't make some sort of payment, and you got to do it through cryptocurrency or through Coinbase or something like that, it's a scam. It's a scam. Don't do it. I don't want to see y'all losing money. Hope on the text line says, I would want nothing more than to see Judge Jeanine as AG. If Trump appointed her in place of Blanche, he would have the perfect cabinet. I agree with that. I think Judge Jeanine is an absolute no-brainer. A no-brainer. I think they need to do that. As a matter of fact, Ron DeSantis is allegedly, according to reports, begging. This is what the report says: begging for a role in the Trump administration, and is reportedly interested in becoming Attorney General. As you know, turnover within the Trump administration, it's kind of sped up. There for a while, we didn't really see any turnover. And he seemingly had a good team put together, and everybody was on the same page, and things were moving. And then over the past few weeks, we've started to see a lot more turnover. A lot of the originals that were in the second Trump administration start to make their way out. Axios reported Tuesday that Trump has told some of his closest advisors and friends that Ron DeSantis is begging for a job in the administration. Now, of course, DeSantis is going to be out of a job come January because his second term as governor will expire, and he's limited just to those 2 terms. But according to the sources in Axios, or according to the sources that they spoke with, one of those positions that he's begging for is to be U.S. Attorney General. Trump appears to be open to making DeSantis America's top law enforcement official, but wants to give acting Attorney General Todd Blanche a shot first, says Axios. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Todd Blanche seems to be a Trump loyalist. There's nothing wrong with Todd Blanche, but at the same time, I'm kind of, I mean, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, Judge Jeanine's just perfect. Like, I don't know that I can not want that. I really wanted Matt Gaetz originally, which would have been absolutely wild had he become Attorney General. Wild. But that didn't work out, and so we got milquetoast Pam Bondi. According to Axios, Donald Trump wants Blanche to start actually indicting the people who tried to destroy his life with the bogus lawfare cases. Axios didn't call them bogus, but I did. This is an area where former Attorney General Pam Bondi came up short. Yeah, I want that too. Actually, I would actually like that. I think that's what most people want. Most MAGA people. Not just MAGA people, but conservatives. They want to see these people arrested, which I'll get into here in a few. I got a lot to say about that, especially Obama when it comes to what's happening in Virginia. But we'll get there. Be patient with me. First, I want to do my favorite thing, which is go straight to the social media account of the President of the United States. He's firing them off again today. He's actually speaking at 2 o'clock today on, what was the topic? I don't remember. It's like affordability or something. I guess, I don't know if it's a round table or whatever. But anyway, on Truth Social, Donald Trump firing this bad boy off this morning. He said, well, we'll start here. He said, wow, crying Chuck Schumer just said for the whole world to hear, quote, nobody respects Border Patrol or ICE, end quote. That is one of the most egregious, incorrect, unpatriotic, and dangerous statements I have ever heard from a, quote, professional politician. He must immediately apologize to these great patriots, and I mean now. That was in all capital letters. Good for him. Yeah, he said, I guess he was on the Senate floor speaking, and he was like, nobody respects Border Patrol or ICE. It's like, dude, nobody respects you. How about that? Anyway, moving on with more. Trump says, I have ordered... Oh, that now we're going off to Iran. So let's just, I'll kind of dive into this a little further after the break. But he says, I have ordered the United States Navy to shoot and kill any boat, small boats though they may be. Their naval ships are all 159 of them at the bottom of the sea. That's in parentheses. That is putting mines in the waters of the Strait of Hormuz. There is to be no hesitation. Additionally, our minesweepers are clearing the strait right now. I am hereby ordering that activity to continue, but at a tripled up level. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, why does he say that? Because this comes on the heels of reports that the Iranians are sending out their little speedboats, their dinghies, and they are dropping these mines that they supposedly have. Now, do we know that that's what they're doing? No, we don't. Do we know that our military has blown up their mine-dropping boats and warehouses where they stored them? Yes, we do know that. Do we know that they blew them all up? Or if the Iranians may have had or don't have them in another location? We don't know. We don't know that. They may have more. But so far, the Iranians have been the king of the bluff. They have been bluffing their way through this entire ordeal. So if they say that they're dropping mines throughout the Strait of Hormuz, I say I'll believe it when I see it. I think it may be BS, but if they are, that would obviously cause some problems. It really causes problems just from the fact that they're saying they're doing it, because that's been the issue with the Strait of Hormuz all along. The simple claims from the Iranians or from the IRGC that they're going to shoot boats, that they're going to fire rockets, that they've dropped mines, that they don't know where they're at. The simple statements being made by the Iranians end up halting the transit of these ships. Because as you know, the ships don't want to get blown up. They also can't afford the insurance rates that insurance providers are going to charge if they think there's a risk of a ship being blown up. And so it's just all null and void and they can't go through the strait. Again, it's not like there's some big gate that's blocking them. It's all hypothetical. It's all what if this happens? What if that happens? And that's what stops them. So, with that said, Donald Trump puts out this tweet and says, here's the deal. If we catch you dropping mines, we're going to blow you up. We're going to blow you up. We're not going to sink your ship. We're not going to stop you and board your ship and take it into custody. No, we're going to just blow it up with the mines, which will be an even bigger explosion if you blow up a ship with a bunch of sea mines in it. So we'll see. I think they're bluffing, but there has been a lot of Iranian speedboat activity in the Strait of Hormuz. We shall see what actually is the truth. But he's ordered the U.S. Navy to shoot and kill and to triple up level the mine sweeping capabilities and the mine sweeping in the region to see if, in fact, they do find any mines that are being laid and they can then dispose of them. So, where does that go? We don't know, but we will see. But there's more. He said more about what's going on in Iran and what's going on with the ceasefire. We'll get to that when we get back on the other side. Hang tight. With that said, the IRGC chief, Hassan Salami, his last name's spelled Salami, so that's what we're going to call him. Hassan Salami, which sounds like something on Subway's menu, just issued another wild threat against the United States. This was sometime last night. He said, "We are fully prepared to make the Gulf of Oman a graveyard for the U.S. Navy within hours." He added, "There will be no U.S. bases or existence of Israel after the next phase of war." Okay, buddy. Okay. No U.S. bases or existence of Israel. And for those that say that Iran is not a threat in any way, shape, or form, what is it? What is that? No existence. I mean, who else is threatening to unexist a country? Who does that? And don't give me the, well, Trump says it's going to blow up the whole civilization. That's a cop out. The mullahs are talking tough while their economy collapses. As we know, Donald Trump's not going to be intimidated by that. But it's, it's just, yeah, they're talking tough. You got to understand, like, they are in, like, by the day, they're losing $500 million a day. They are running out. They have no way to get anything. Like, they are crumbling, and all they have is tough talk. And I know this sounds cliche because we've been saying it for days now, but they're at the breaking point at this month. At this point, they've got hours before they have nowhere else to put the oil that they're pumping out of the ground. And once that happens, the pumping's got to stop. The oil wells have to shut down. And it's going to take a very long time to get those oil rigs back online. It's just a fact. It's a fact there to be a fact here in the U.S. It's going to take them forever. And so as the economy continues to crumble, and Trump made the point, he said, the Iranians at the end of the day, and the reason that the clerics and the politicians and everybody else want to make a deal is because the closing of or the naval blockade that we have set up scares them more than the bombing itself. Because Iran will crumble from within as the next few days transpire. No matter how much tough talk comes from the IRGC about blowing up all the U.S. bases and ending the existence of Israel. It's not going to work out in their favor at all. More of your phone calls coming up next. From the text line, Hassan Salami sounds like a Middle Eastern porno movie. Yeah, that would be like a porn name. Hello, my name is Hassan Salami. Hassan Big Salami. According to Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Argchi, whatever his name is, he came out with a statement saying the Strait of Hormuz will remain closed until Iran's frozen assets worth $11 trillion are released. Okay, buddy. Yeah, we're going through all this trouble to make you broke, and we're going to give you $11 trillion. I don't think so. But this also shows you how bad of a position they're in. I mean, 11 trillion, they're going to lose $11 trillion over the course of 22 days. Well, no, I take that back. What are they losing? $500 million. Okay, well, I'll take a little longer than that. I got my numbers mixed up. Yeah, add an extra couple zeros there. But anyway, they're losing $500 million a day. $500 million. And now they're about to have to shut their oil wells down, which is going to set them back even further for recouping this at the end. So they've got hours. They've got hours before they're, and at the same time, we are bringing in even more jets and refuelers and everything else, a large amount of firepower towards the Middle East as we speak. And so the tough talk means nothing. Now, unfortunately, people, they get on the internet and start seeing this stuff, and they're like, oh, my gosh. I mean, I can't tell you how many Arabic accounts are popping up on my social media, on my X, talking about, oh, my gosh, Iran's got the upper hand. They're demanding this. Don't buy into any of that, dude. I'm telling you right now. It's all propaganda. Even some of the AI videos, somebody needs to take they need to take away the AI from the regime or whoever's putting these videos out because they look absolutely awful. I mean, they're showing them. There's like AI videos of them storming U.S. boats and U.S. carriers and taking over the ships and sinking ships, and none of that's happening. Like, these people are just lying because that's what they always do. I mean, they're in the business of propaganda. And so they're trying to win this war through public pressure. They know that their only chance of coming out on the good side here is for America to give up, for Donald Trump to give up and pull the military out. That's their only hope. And from the looks of it, the opposite is happening. And this is exactly why Donald Trump has made this decision. He is sending a message to them. We are not pulling out. We are actually doubling down, and we're sending even more military to the region to let you know that. So even sending more firepower to the Middle East, we don't necessarily intend to use it, although we will. It is to initially send that message. Because at some point, these people have to break. Will they break? I don't know. I mean, we're dealing with an ideology here that is built around ushering the end times. It is the doomsday of all doomsday ideologies. But one way or another, they're going to break. And that may come in the form of death for them, which is one thing they're not afraid of. So let's see how it plays out. Nate's on the line. Nate is in Calero. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys?
Hey, man.
Hey, I've noticed a lot of people, it seems like, and me included, are turning from Trump. It's, you turn on the radio and you guys don't sound like that, but Trump did promise no new wars. And I think it's clear to everybody now that Israel is controlling our foreign policy. And you asked a question a while ago, what other countries threatened America or says death to America? Well, North Korea has a nuclear bomb.
Do they chant death to America?
Yeah, they hate Americans.
They don't chant death to America. North Korea doesn't. I mean, have you seen that somewhere?
Well, you don't get a lot of stuff from North Korea, but they do hate America, and they have threatened to nuke America. Sure.
Well, I mean, Trump's been over to North Korea and apparently has a fairly good relationship with Kim Jong Un. But them gaining a nuclear weapon is, yes, as of course it's a bad thing. We don't want anybody that doesn't have to have a nuclear weapon to have a nuclear weapon, and it's thanks to weak leadership in the past. It has nothing to do with Trump. But
I thought we destroyed their nuclear capabilities last year. That's what we were told. That's what Trump told us.
Well, yeah, we blew up their nuclear facilities, and now what we have to do is take their
so
remaining.
We have to go to war now.
We have to take their remaining enriched uranium, which is approximately 1,000 pounds of enriched uranium that's enriched to 60%, which can't produce a nuclear weapon, but once it gets to 80%, if we were to just sit on our hands, could produce 10 to 11 nuclear weapons. And then I think we all probably understand.
And they would use those nuclear weapons, even though it would be, they would die if they did it because we have nuclear weapons.
Yes, they don't care about dying. I just stated that.
They don't.
No, they don't.
They don't.
They don't. They don't care
So
about dying.
I think you're just buying the propaganda.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I'm just if this is a thing about Israel, I mean, was Israel controlling Donald Trump back in the 80s when he was demanding Iran can never have a nuclear weapon?
Did Trump not promise that or say that he wasn't going to get involved in foreign entanglements? And did he not say Kamala Harris would have us in a war with Iran?
He said.
And I believed him. But I think it's time for people to stop. Hello?
Hey, I'm listening.
I think it's time for people to stop believing him, and because we're going to lose, we're going to get beat in the midterms. We will get swept. I would bet my mortgage on it. We're going to get swept.
All right. Well,
I'm talking to people every day who voted for Trump and who are not voting for or not supporting him now.
I got you. Well, Trump's not on the ballot in the midterms, and hopefully Republicans will do their job and get out there and convince people to vote for him.
So it's time to stop supporting him just because he's Trump. I mean, we've got to get somebody else in there next in 4 years. We can't vote. If we vote Rubio in, we're going to get the same thing.
I got you. All right, Nate. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. Sometimes I feel like I do this show for 4 hours a day and nobody listens to anything I say. Because I've gone. I mean, just 5 minutes ago I was talking about this. I literally said we're up against an ideology where these people are looking to usher in doomsday, the end times. They don't care about dying, and then I'm told it's crazy to think that they don't care about dying. It's just some people are just going to be, listen, here's at the end of the day, if you think Trump, never said that he wasn't going to allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon, then that's fine. You can feel like you were lied to, but he's been saying it for years and years and years. If you think Israel is controlling Trump, that's fine. I mean, just do your thing, man. But we ain't even 60 days into this thing, and we're on the verge of the end of it. We've literally obliterated this. We went through 20 years in the Middle East with the George Bush war, right? Which most of us opposed. And most of us oppose foreign wars, which at the end of the day, this is not really a war. We don't have boots on the ground. We don't have a military really fighting back against us. We're not getting shot up by these people. We're just blowing them into oblivion and blocking them, choking them off economically. This is much different than what you saw in Baghdad and what you saw in Afghanistan. And we're not even 2 months in, and then it's a whole, I've got to denounce Donald Trump because he's got us into a war. He's got us into a 20-year war. It's the thing, and I've said this before. I think society has just gotten soft over the past few years and can't handle a little national adversity. And whether that comes in the form of, changing generations or social media or people just getting too many people's opinions thrown at them or whatever, it's just we've lost our ability to say, you know what, we gotta stick it out and do what's right, not just for us, not just for our soldiers in the Middle East. And that's what befuddles me is the fact that some people just say, okay, yeah, we got soldiers in the Middle East that are right next door to Iran who wants to fire missiles and kill them and has killed them over the years. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of our men and women, our brave men and women in uniform, have been murdered by this murderous regime and their terror proxies. And people can still say, well, what's Iran done to us? They ain't done nothing. They're over there just living their lives. It's crazy. I mean, it's just a crazy line of thinking, man. Do we not support the military anymore? You want to talk about propaganda? Like the propaganda is thinking that Iran's some sort of good guy and that is no threat to us whatsoever. I've never seen anything like it. It's crazy. All right, I'm going to get to some phone calls. Phone lines are packed, so y'all hang tight for me. I'm going to get to you. 205 545 9950. I got you coming up next. Not to mention, in November of 24, an Iranian national, an IRGC asset, was charged for plotting to assassinate Donald Trump. But they're not. That's not a big deal. What are we getting involved in Iran for? Between October of 2003 and November of 2024, which, by the way, was fairly recent, Iran and its terror proxies conducted more than 180 attacks against U.S. forces in the Middle East, wounding more than 180 U.S. service members and killing 3. Does that not matter to anybody? January of 24, Hezbollah terrorists killed 3 U.S. service members and wounded more than 40 in a drone attack in the Tower 22 military base in Jordan. In December of 23, Iran-backed militias wounded 3 U.S. service members in an attack in Iraq. In October of 23, Hamas terrorists killed 46 Americans and kidnapped at least 12 Americans in the October 7th massacre. I got a list a mile long, man, and I can go through them if y'all want. But at some point, we got to say to ourselves, like, that's a problem, right? Is that not a problem? Roger's on the line. Roger, what's up?
Hello, Andrew. Hey, I feel bad about John Bird's father. I seen him. I commented on his post.
We appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Hey, look, I've been around a while, and was it Nate that called you? Was it a guy named Nate?
Yeah, I think that was the last caller.
Yeah, look, I hate to say it, but he knows nothing. I mean, if he can't listen to the things that you're saying, look, the 3 primary places in the world were the Panama Canal, Cuba, and where we are now. And that does have to be addressed now. And and his comments about Rubio, I mean, Rubio was one of the most impressive guys I've ever seen or heard. I mean, I've learned a lot about him recently, and I've seen him make a couple of speeches that I was unaware of. But all the things that you say and all the things that are going on in the world, I mean, Trump is doing exactly what is necessary for what I consider important, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, again, this is not some sort of new stance that Trump has, going back decades and even on the campaign trail. He made it clear that, Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. And he did vow to not drag us into unnecessary wars. But
oh man, the military strategy and acts that have been done are great. I mean, it's some of the best of all time.
And thank God we've got a president that's willing to conduct these operations in this way and not put boots on the ground, and keep the casualty count of our service members in an absolute bare minimum. And I'm personally grateful for what's happening right now. It had to be done, and thank God we have strong leadership that's getting it done the right way and doing it in a way that benefits this country the most.
Iran has proxies all over the world, related to some of the things that you're saying. And, I mean, they're executing athletes, women, just for protesting, I mean, that has to be done away. That part of civilization has to be destroyed. In my view, Shia radicalism has to be destroyed.
Yeah.
And thank you for taking my call.
All right. Thank you, Roger. Good call, buddy. I appreciate you. Let's get Ronnie next. Ronnie, how are you?
Hey, guys. Good. You got a couple different points. Nate's an idiot, by the way. He sounds like a younger millennial or a Gen Z. He does not understand. I'm 52 years old. I understand. Trump is the only president with the balls, because every president, every senator, every congressman has said for the last 47 years Iran must be gone. Period. Has to be gone. And Nate is not listening. Nate, I think he's buying into a little bit of the propaganda, and he's wrong about Rubio. Rubio is that's an amazing man. He is legit going to be a good president, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Rubio as of late.
Yeah, I mean, he is very impressive. And one of the main reasons I called was Trump told Iran, if you killed those 8 women, hung them publicly, that talks are over. We're coming back in, bombs dropping. They respect him enough and know that he will do it. And Trump saved those 8 women. And I've been online and stuff, and you ought to see some Democrats. Oh, I mean, it's ridiculous, the propaganda they're pushing that Trump did not save these 8 women. Trump saved these 8 women's lives.
Well, I tell you how that goes down is, and it's like most of these things, it's for some reason people are taking Iran at their word. It was widely reported that these 8 women were set for execution, and everybody agreed with it, and not agreed with their execution, but agreed that they knew Iran was going to do it. And then Trump puts out a tweet. He said, I would highly suggest, in so many words, Iran not execute these women. It would be very good for our negotiations. And then all of a sudden it's announced that they're not going to be executed. And Iran comes out and says, oh, no, we were never going to execute them. I don't know what anybody's talking about, even though it was confirmed everywhere. And so then you have the left or whoever online is taking Iran's word at it and saying, no, Trump didn't save them. Iran was never going to do that.
Iran pumps out so much propaganda. Look, like I said, I'm 52 years old. Iran has been a thorn in the world's side for almost 50 years. And Trump is the first one with the cojones enough to do something about it. And the Democrats hate it. Hate it with a passion because he's winning. He's doing the right thing. And our economy is about to boom, and they cannot stand it. It is eating them alive. It is a disease to them. And Trump says some things sometimes where I'm like, oh, damn, did he really say that? But you know what? It's my president. I hated Biden, but I support him because he's our president. But yeah, Trump says some things sometimes that makes you go, golly, did he really say that? But you know what? The rest of the world, everybody's like, no, America, nobody support. Everybody thinks America's weak. No, the rest of the world thinks America is strong now.
No, you're right.
Don't know what Trump's gonna do, and you damn well better take him at his word.
Yeah, I would much rather have a president that says crazy-ish from time to time that's respected around the world than the opposite. Ronnie, thank you, buddy. Hour number 3 coming up next.